or guests do not state or reflect those of the company, its management, sponsors, or any entities they represent.
Oh, it's lit. We prime time. Subscribe, like, and share. Give us your feedback. Yo, I'm Manny at the plate and Kobe off a steal. Gretzky for the goal and Brady at the wheel. I'm a game changer, the Osaka of the tennis, and breaking scoreboards. Simone of the Olympics, defense and big business. The Mayweather who way better. From the greatness of Jim Brown, I've been down. Talking sports before I was off the porch. Screaming Bo knows while Jordan was playing horse. Late 80s getting torched by the drive and the shot. 2016 got a ring off the 3 in the block. They eased to forgot the cardiac kids. Price and Doherty, Bill in the Indian years. This who it is. Your host DeeTrynt, yo, that's a name banger. Come in the streets and talk sports with the game changer. Yo, your host DeeTrynt, that's a name banger. Come in the streets and talk sports with the game changer.
Yo, what's really good, man? DeeTrynt, Game Changer Sports Talk in the Street Sports, streaming on multiple social and media platforms: Facebook, Twitch, Twitter. Catch us on IG at Industry Sports or at DeeTrynt. If you missed the live streams, you can catch the replays on Spotify and various other streaming platforms. Just look for the Industry Sports channel, like, subscribe, share, follow. Once you get in there, you'll see Game Changer Sports Talk with yours truly. Man, it's really good. You know what I'm saying? I was over here getting my share on, you know what I'm saying, while the intro play. You know what I mean? And making me some little breakfast right quick, man. And I woke up, and I actually think I got some good sleep. All right. But I woke up thinking about the Browns, right? And, you know, I'm looking over some things and I see, you know, Kevin Stefanski got hired. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Kevin Stefanski. You know what I'm saying? Second coach taken off the board, right? And I said, okay, Hardball got hired. Robert Saleh got hired today to run Tennessee. And I see reports that he's taking Mike Daniels over there as the OC. Halfley, the defensive coordinator from the Packers, he's now the head man with the Miami Dolphins. And somebody else got their coach today too. But I'll remember that in a second. So, you know, Callahan, the offensive line guru, was going back to be with Kevin Stefanski, but he's going to Atlanta. And, you know, hearing that news, right? Hearing Callahan is going to Atlanta and he wouldn't come back to Cleveland makes me wonder, what is it about Cleveland? I think I already know. But what is it about Cleveland that he just didn't want to rock with? Because clearly it wasn't
I
Kevin.
don't think it's Cleveland. It was more of who brought him in here. That's who he was under. He was with Stefanski. So it's like he getting his gang back together. He damn near got most of his same people that he was with. So
I'm saying, but Callahan been had left though, bro? Why Callahan ain't come back to Cleveland after his son got fired?
He left to be with his son. He left to play with coach.
Right, but his son got fired over a year ago, bro.
He got fired with his son. He just got fired with his son.
That was this season? I thought that was earlier this season they got fired. I thought they got fired last season. But all right, say that. Oh, it might have been early in the season. I think they got fired after like week 5 or some shit, some bullshit. Okay. You know what? You right. I don't know why I thought that was. I mean, it is last year, but not that type of last year. You feel me? Not the football season here. So I'm just mixing up my timelines. Okay, so that makes sense. But man, listen, it's just one of those things that makes you say. I mean, we kept trying to blame Kevin. We kept saying Kevin ain't do something. I'll just, listen, I'm not tripping that Kevin left. I understood some of the gripe what I try to get people to understand is that you have to have an identity to begin with for you to be judging people. And you cannot get an identity when you're always changing key parts. Kevin, before the last 2 seasons, record was 41-33. And people just act like they forgot that. I mean, and he did it with Cleveland. I know people hate to hear that, but it's the truth. Cleveland ain't been shit. And in 4 years, he averaged 10 wins a year for 4 years. That's better than anything the Browns would ever say. Oh, but he ain't get to the Super Bowl, bro. He got to win a division first before he gets to the Super Bowl. They got to actually be the best team in the. You know what I'm saying? You know how you get that, bro? You got to have some consistency. You know what I'm saying? You got to get your head coach and GM on the same page. You know what I'm saying? Things like this make you really be like, damn, man, Jimmy, I hope you ain't that bad of an owner like that, bro. Like, I hope it ain't that bad. Like, damn. But like I said with Kevin's scheme, man, you know, a lot of plays were open. The players just failed to execute. You know what I mean? And I genuinely believe that the local media played more of a part in why Kevin not there than anything else, because they were so tight-lipped with the media, especially Kevin. You know, Andrew kind of opened up a little more. You know what I'm saying? And that's just crazy how your local media can have that type of influence. You know what I'm saying? To me, it's just wild, man. But now, you know, look how the universe works. Kevin leaves Cleveland, still getting. Well, I don't think people understand this. Cleveland is still paying Kevin. So now he getting paid by Cleveland and Atlanta, and he got to upgrade in weapons. I don't think y'all grasping how crazy this is. Okay? You got your people to leave to go with you. You got an offense that you can actually grow with that's young. People always talk, oh, yeah, all this in Cleveland, bro. Stop overhyping the barrel. Okay? Stop overhyping the barrel, man. Because at the end of the day, like I was telling my homies, that I was chopping to it on Twitter. All them people that y'all claim that Cleveland had when Kevin Stefanski and them got here, guess what? Ain't none of them do shit after Cleveland. None of them. None of them boys been nothing. They ain't went nowhere and made no noise nowhere. What I think is more standout about this is you had a guy who was a head coach for 7 years, for 6 seasons, and you never gave him a chance to pick his whole offense the way he wanted to. I think that's more wild than anything. Oh, he had this, he had that. Did he choose it? When you go somewhere, don't you want to pick the items that you want to play with? When you a chef, don't you like to pick the ingredients you want to cook with? You feel what I'm saying? Like, y'all be talking crazy, man. But anyway, you know what I mean? He off the board. And now we trying to figure out who we going to get. Now, when it comes to Jim Schwartz being the coach, I was saying the other day that I felt like that's probably what they should do. You know what I'm saying? But that was before things happened. And when things happen, they change perspectives and mindsets. And now, you know, I ain't gonna lie. I'm not a fan of Adam the Bull, right? Not a fan of Adam the Bull. Bull be getting on my nerves. But Bull did say something that I thought. Bull did say something that I thought was interesting. Niehaus, the passing game coordinator from the Rams, might just be the best choice. You know what I mean? he might just be his best choice because look, I don't know about Mentor, but what will be the point of bringing in another defensive guy, right? Unless you was gonna change your head coach. I mean, change your defensive. Unless you like your defense. And I don't think nothing was wrong with it. Like I didn't like the way our team played zone coverage. I thought we were shitty in zone. But every team has their flaws, and you get players and they help you be better at certain areas. So I ain't too trippy on that. But the defense is really good. Miles excelled. We got some pieces up there that really did their thing. You know what I mean? So I like the defense. But you got Monken, which I'm not a fan of Monken. You got who else was up there? Schwartz. And then you probably should keep him, but I don't believe in Schwartz as being the head coach personally. Like, I just was more like the continuity. You know what I'm saying? You already like the Reese. You might as well just promote Reese. But Reese is going to Atlanta with Kevin Stefanski, right? Which means Schwartz is going to basically have to get a whole new staff anyway because Bruce Staley probably going to go. You know what I'm saying? And you're probably going to lose that staff anyway. So if you're going to start fresh, you might as well start fresh. Start with the Rams guy. The guy who's been a passing game coordinator. You know what I'm saying? The guy who's worked with good quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying? Not just kind of good quarterbacks. I mean, he didn't, he had a golf. I think he worked with, or if he did, he definitely worked with Matt Stafford. You know what I mean? So, I mean, if you got that out of him, then shit. I mean, why not? You know what I'm saying? I feel like the Browns are in a unique place because they're not necessarily shitty, right? They just don't have an offense. You know what I'm saying? When you say a team is like horrible, they don't have nothing. And the little pieces they do got is going to take too much to build around. You cannot say that about the Browns. The Browns actually have things in place that a lot of teams don't have like that. You know what I'm saying? You got a quarterback who's 30 that's still one of the top talents in the league when healthy and ready to play, right? You got one of the best young quarterback talents already on your roster. So you already got a future and present thing going. You don't really got to go too crazy with that. That's already there on your roster for you. It's already available. You know what I mean? You don't really got to do nothing with that. So you got at least a tight end. You got at least, one receiver to work with. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of what I may feel about Jerry Jeudy and what he do and don't do, you feel what I'm saying? He still is, you could have worse. Right? So you got that. You got a nice defense. You know what I'm saying? You got at least a couple linemen to work with. It ain't like the covered bear. Zencher will be there, Wiper will be there, DeJuan Jones will come back, he'll be there. You can probably be back Tevin Jenkins. You know what I mean? So the cover ain't completely bare there. I mean, listen. The Browns ain't looking too bad. But Niehaus, let a guy, basically I'm saying, let a guy come in and let him put his stamp on it. You know what I'm saying? Actually let a guy choose who he want to deal with, who he want to coach, who he want to be bothered with. Like, let him sit in there. Let him pick that. Because, listen, if you add, like I'm just saying it like this, right? The Browns right now can get a couple receivers to go with Judy, a running back and tight end. You could do that in the offseason. Between free agency and the draft, you could get 2 receivers, a running back, and a tight end. Right? That's accomplishable. Very accomplishable. Okay. You also know that, in my opinion, this defense is like one more piece away. And I like the safety. Like, you gotta bring back Devin Bush, right? You gotta bring back Devin Bush. Devin Bush had a hell of a season, and him and Carson Schwarzenegger worked really well together. The next linebacker you need in that group is one of those take your head off linebackers. You need a guy who just be out there knocking the snot out of people. That's the next linebacker you need for that court. You bring back Devin, vet, guy who didn't play in this league. He know what it's like, the ups and downs. You know what I'm saying? Schwarzenegger, young. People keep saying Luke Kuechly, and I kind of like that reference. I ain't gonna lie. He is like a little young Luke Kuechly, though. He just be out there just going fucking bananas. I like Schwarzenegger a lot. And then you got you got Collins on the line for another year. You know what I'm saying? You drafted Mason, you got Mike Hall, you got McGuire, you just re-signed Wright. So to still have Miles, um, uh, Denzel, you know what I'm saying? To still have these guys after, you know what I'm saying, multiple years, like, that's fire. So now you know these guys are studs. You know these guys will impact the game. You know these guys will put that work in. So now you can draft new young stars to put with your old stars, and now you got a nice little team. Cleveland has been really good at bringing, this regime has been really good with the undrafted thing, especially on defense, right? Now, if you want to say too, right, you know, Andrew Berry has been a good defensive selection and coach, right? And he has did things in the offseason to put the defense together, right? And he has, right? And I think he's done what he could for the offense as well. You know what I'm saying? But even still, that's even more reason to bring in an offensive-minded guy, right? And let him bring in a staff of people who could actually evaluate offense correctly. You know what I'm saying? Who can actually bring in some studs. You know what I'm saying? Now, in saying all that too, I was saying the defense one piece away. And when you draft in the top 6, you take the best player available, right? Or the player that you feel like is going to most impact your team in the long run. All right? You have a chance to draft a Arvell Reese or a Caleb Downs. You got to take them. But I like the old tackle. I think, too, by drafting that offensive tackle, it allows you to play with the rest of the draft. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't care what nobody's talking about, right? DeJuan Jones healthy is a great right tackle. All right? So if you telling me I get to start the year off and I got – because Taylor can go. All right. Taylor can go, bro. I don't care what y'all talking about. Taylor can go. But if you telling me I can start off the year and on my right side I got DeJuan Jones with Zach Zinter, you know what I'm saying? I got Weibler. I'm okay. It could be worse. It could be worse. But I'm okay. Because I know I got a bunch of 6'5", 6'6", 6'8" guys over there that if they get their body in front of somebody, that they gonna be able to move something or they're gonna be able to overshadow something. You know what I'm saying? And just having that body in place there is, I mean, we can teach you some technique. I did, in saying that though, I did see a report and hear some people saying that Joe Thomas might want to coach now. So I figure you get the knee house guy here. Oh, and I was saying Adam the Bull was the one who broke it down too. Damn, I'll be so scattered all over the place. My bad. Adam the Bull, I was watching UCSS earlier. And he was saying that Niehaus, out of all the guys, has some experience with leading a group of men and leading a staff. You know what I'm saying? On top of that, the Rams have been a super contender the last couple of years he's been there. Puka Nacua had a lot of good years. His last couple of good years have been with that guy as a passing game coordinator. Matt Staddy has done his thing. So I think he could come in and work with a Shador and a Watson. And I think he could make something out of them. You got a fan in there that's basically like a multi-weapon. But I think they need another multi-weapon, right? I was watching some Eric Metcalf stat lines, right? And, bruh, imagine if they had a Metcalf-like player on their team right now. What? That'd go crazy. I like Quashan. And I like him as the one, but I don't know. Quashan might make it excellent too, though. Because I feel like Quashan can catch. Now, I don't know if he can run routes. You know what I'm saying? I don't. Hello, yeah, my bad. I don't know if he can run routes, but I do know that he can catch. I do know that he explosive in the open field, and I do know he coming off that injury. So, I don't want to put too much on him coming back. You know what I mean? I want to make the work easy for him. You know what I'm saying? But I also want to be able to get people back there that he can run with. This shit crazy, man. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. This lightweight wild. My Browns going through another season of who gonna lead the team, and that's wild to me, man. I don't like it. I feel like this franchise and this fan base and community is missing consistency. You know what I mean? Like, it's just no continuity whatsoever, bro. It's just always changing. It's always changing. Like, damn. But I like the knee house thing. You get knee house in here, you know what I'm saying? You get a guy who is looking to contend because he's been contending his last several seasons as a coach. You get him to get Joe Thomas on that staff, that's fire. But I'm still thinking too, though, the Browns need to hire some.
That award, huh? My bad. I said I see they gave Schlesinger that award, huh?
I don't know if that's the official award or if that's just one of them preliminary awards, but I think he should get it anyway. I don't think there should be much of a debate.
I don't know. They just say congratulations to him for being named Defensive Rookie of the Year by the PFWA.
Let's see. Let's see. Let's go to the sites and see what's going on because you just never know. All these old fake ass leaks and all that. This is what I'm saying. The NFL ain't saying nothing about it right now. So, but I think in my mind, he already won the award anyway. So, you know what I mean? But I know some people gonna ask, well, Sean McDermott, he free. You want to bring him over? I mean, he has played with a nice little squad. You know, our division is open because everybody except the Bengals needs a coach. I mean, this is a new era, man. Start fresh. I ain't gonna lie, man. Start fresh. Fuck it. But start with some guys that you're gonna believe in, bro. Like, don't bring in people that you're gonna be willing to fire in 2 years. Bring in somebody that you're gonna let rock out for 6, 7 seasons. You know what I'm saying? Because it takes that to really get your squad right. You know what I'm saying? Let a nigga rock out. Like, let a nigga really, excuse my French. My apology. I'm just saying that all loosely, talking all fandish. Like, my bad. My bad, y'all. But I'm just saying, like, bruh, I am so tired of the turnover because it just shows disloyalty. That is a characteristic of disloyalty. If people don't know this, if you don't understand this, always changing and moving, it shows a I'm not saying you are disloyal. I'm just saying it shows a characteristic. Now, it's one thing for a person to be like that because everybody has a different life path. But when you're a place in an organization, which means you operate from a certain place, ain't no moving for you. Everybody coming to you. So what's your reason for being disloyal if everybody coming to you anyway? Nice little, we got some pieces, man. You know, I got a market standpoint, right? You know, I can't think of the right word right now, but you know, I'm trying to showcase our team. You know, trying to up our appreciation, right? Appraisal. We not that bad, man. People still think we are our grandparents' Browns. And our grandparents' Browns was probably shitty. They're probably trash. But these Browns lightweight fire. These Browns actually come to play. These Browns actually win awards. These Browns actually is one of the top players in their positions around the league. These good players. And if they do bring Joe Thomas in on some capacity, man, bring Cribs and bring DeQuell and bring Eric Metcalf. Definitely bring Eric Metcalf. My bad, I had to drink a drink of water. Hold on. No, definitely bring in Eric Metcalf. You know, let like you need some guys from the olden days in that building, man. So they can understand the level of urgency and importance it is to bring a win into that city and that team and that organization. Like you don't know that just coming in if you wasn't no Browns fan before you got there. Damn, excuse me. Shit. So, I'm cussing a lot more than I usually do. My bad, y'all. I'm really no, it's been crazy. All right, because I'm not really willing to get up here and talk sports, probably having to work. I really be wanting to chime in and express thoughts on different little circumstances and situations, but I don't really be having the time to collect my thoughts the way I want to. Like, it's been, I'm still adjusting to the relocation. But my love for the game doesn't go anywhere. And right now, I really need my teams to get back right, man. But I'm excited for the Browns, though, because unlike a lot of years, we actually in a position to make some noise. You know what I'm saying? A couple receivers, another running back, another tight end. Do what you can as the O-line. Worst case scenario, at least get a left tackle, right? You come out with at least a left tackle, a number one receiver, and people want to keep asking me why I'm stressing tight end, okay? Because Harold Fannin is a move-around piece. Second tight end, fullback, slot receiver. You want to keep him at that type of position. I think they call them H-backs in the league now. You want to keep him at that. You want a guy like having guys that you can move around to manipulate the defense is key for offense. People like, oh, you don't got no position. We don't know how to pay you. Nigga, pay you for what you want him to do. Get yards and score touchdowns, right? Get first downs. All that shit can go in the contract. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you here to move the pile. If we win, you get paid more. This is easy. But they come out with a number one receiver. And would I like it to be Carnell Tate? I would. Do I feel like if you bring Joe Thomas in as the offensive line coach, that you could probably figure out how to make some talented guys better? Hold on. Okay, I'm back. Definitely can figure out how to make some more talented guys better. But you need weapons on this team. Okay? Good. I think now if you think it's 3 or 4 other guys in the draft that has his level of play, cool. Oh shit. Hello.
Yeah, you
Am I
back
back?
now.
Hello.
Yeah, you back.
I just think that BS. All right, bet. All right, cool. Cool. I mean, I personally want Carnell Tate, right? Carnell Tate is my number one choice because I've been wanting him all year. Carnell, Quinshawn, Fannin, you know what I'm saying? That's nice. It's all right. But I also could not stand how our offensive line just could not block. They can't block. And it's a couple guards that's gonna be in free agency that's probably could fill a role that Batonio gonna leave. I'm pretty sure Batonio about to leave. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he probably gonna retire, which is cool, man. Batonio old, he wasn't that strong to begin with. I don't like seeing him get pushed around like that. But he got technique, you know what I'm saying? He a veteran, he crafty, so he do the job. Ryan Teller can't pass block. So we need replacement guards, or at least one guard. Because you're not guaranteed to get every piece you need in one offseason, but you can get the important ones. So if you get a left tackle, a number one receiver, right, you virtually then help the offense tremendously. Just with those two acquisitions, a legit number one receiver and a legit offensive left tackle, you've helped your offense out tremendously. All right? Because now your quarterback got a little more time to get rid of the ball. And at least he got a couple guys to get it to, right? Like a Fanner, like a Judy, like a Quinshawn, or Dylan Sampson, who seems to be able to make plays when he get in space. You got some pieces.
Judy got to be moved. Judy got to be moved to the 3.
Wait, okay, you good?
Judy got to be the 3rd receiver on the damn team. That's what he got.
How long I've been calling Judy a slot receiver? How long I've been calling him a slot? Everybody talking to me crazy. Oh, you got to give more respect, bruh. Judy is the receiver. He like
because he can't do nothing with them Denzel Ward and them boys like that.
No, but the best things about Jerry Jeudy is his agility and his speed. You feel what I'm saying? So getting him the ball in space is what you want to do. Jerry Jeudy need a little more weight. That's the one thing that bothers me about Jeudy is you need to get a little stronger. You need to get a little bigger. And you got to be open to playing something other than receiver. Bro, if you were a kick returner and a slot receiver who caught end arounds and came out the backfield, you could be our Eric Metcalf. I'm not saying that you can take handoffs out the backfield and you're going to do something.
Hey. Slow that down. You just said Judy Metcalf?
What I'm just saying is the way that he could be utilized. I'm not saying that he could be the Eric Metcalf. No, I'm not saying that.
Yeah, you just as trying to like an all around weapon, but no.
Yeah, because if he returned kicks,
we ain't gonna do that.
I'm just saying like this: if Judy was returning kicks, opposing special teams would be nervous because you know for a fact if Judy get a step on you, he gone. Right? If Judy playing the slot, you know for a fact that 9 times out of 10, he's on a mismatch. 9 times out of 10, Jerry Jeudy lined up against a linebacker is a mismatch. Against a safety is a mismatch. Against somebody who's like a third corner, slot corner is probably a mismatch. Because his agility and speed is too nice. Hold on. People trying to use him as a number 1 or number 2. Hey, listen. Your ideal number 1 and number 2 candidates and wide receiver in the league. Think about what's going on. Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. Jeudy is not played to those levels. CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens. You have not played to those levels. Mike Evans and Charles Godwin or Marquise is a good one, whichever one it is, right? Or Abuka, and Abuka a rookie, right? Jackson Smith. I mean, even Chris Olave and them down there, like, bruh, like you ain't that. And if you is gonna be that, you gotta get bigger, which is I think is the leading cause of your concentration problems. It's because you little. You little. And I ain't saying that to be negative. I'm just pointing it out as an observation. Like, bruh, if I knew that 9 times out of 10 I could only take a certain amount of punishment of course I will have concentration problems because I'm thinking about that punishment more than I'm thinking about catching his pass. That's just logic. But in the slot, all you got to do is find the open space. And once you get the ball, you can make it happen. That means it's a good 9 times out of 10. It's a lot of times you're going to be wide open or open enough to where you could think about catching the ball first and then making your play after catch. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, but I stranded on that and I landed on that and stranded away from my point. The Browns got something to work with. So, in the left tackle and number one wide receiver opens up a lot more. If I'm building this offense, this is how I'm looking at it. Quinshawn. So this okay. Let's running back and linebackers like my friend. Running back, linebacker, safety, slot wide like that. I like those positions. I always did, right? Anyway. Quinshawn is an interesting case to me because I believe Quinshawn can be your number one bell cow. Like, I feel like your bell cow should be a balanced back. Your number one, like Nick Chubb was, listen, or Bijan, your typical number one. He can run the ball effectively. He's a threat catching the ball effectively. He can pass block effectively. I think Quinshawn sucks on the pass blocking, so we're going to have to get that up. You know what I mean? And you know, he's a threat when he's on the field. But I also think Quinshawn could be a good compliment back too. Because when he played dual back with Travion Henderson at O State, Travion was the one before he got there. So that was basically 2 ones playing cohesively. I think that if you want to trend that success, you might have to go get another number one to pair with him. And which leads me to the thought of maybe I could use him more as the scat back. Because Quinshawn can catch and Quinshawn can run, but Quinshawn ain't necessarily a pass blocker, which is what your scat gap back is. So it leaves the question of, should the Browns draft Jeremiah Love? I think, I'll say this. If the Browns because the Browns got 10 picks, right? I don't know what they'll do in the offseason. I don't know if they'll trade some picks to try to acquire some players, or Andrew Berry could weasel his way into some more miraculous trades because he finds a way to do it. But they need to shore up that line. In an ideal world,
did we just pick up somebody from Green Bay or something?
I think that was a tight end, though, right? That was a receiver or something, a tight end or something. What my other phone is? I don't think that was a.
I thought it was like a receiver or a tight end. Yeah.
Out there, yeah, but once it's like this, though, right? Once they get that offensive is acquired. Damn, my connection. I'm in the house with my connection acting like that. Hello? We good? All right. So once you get the offensive tackle, though, it's open season, right? Because as I'm saying, DeJuan Jones should come back healthy. You can put him on the right. That's Thanos, man. I still believe in DeJuan. So if I compare the guy from Miami with him, that's cool. And then I'm looking at the rest of the draft like I can move up and down the board as I want, especially in the second round because let's say Carnell Fall or Jeremiah Love. We got the 24th pick, right? If Jeremiah at 24, I might take him. Take the offensive tackle, then get Jeremiah. Why? Because now I know for a fact my running back room and my quarterback room is official. I got Deshaun and Shador. And then I got Love with Quinshawn and Sampson. Yeah, my now look, all that's secure. And I short up my offensive left tackle with the first pick. All right, bet. Now, from there, you can find your receivers. You can move up and down the board as you want. Or get into something that I was thinking about earlier when we first started talking about. They could take Caleb Downs with the number 6 pick. Why would you take a safety, bruh? Because Caleb Downs like that. And I'm tired of not having a safety. Right? Oh, but we could bring Martin Emerson back, or Martin Emerson can play safety. We could bring Martin Emerson back, and he could be one of those defensive backs that we could play anywhere in the defense. You can line up at receiver, you can line up at nickel back. Why you can't just do that? Tyson gonna be good playing the outside. You feel me? Ward gonna be good playing the outside. Emerson can play that 5th. He can play anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Or he could drop back to free safety when you want to move Caleb or you know what I'm saying? Like you could do some rotational shit like that. But also too, it made me think too. Swartz played that defense where Denzel Ward only stay on one side of the field. And I don't like that. So if we get rid of that, I definitely ain't too mad about it if we move it on from Swartz. I like Swartz though. I think he did a really good job over it. We gonna start fresh, and be invigorating with it. Be, you know what I'm saying? Like turn this into something. Y'all doing a lot of extra, y'all doing a lot of extra. What my man's called on the Temptation, mistletoe shuffle. You know what I'm saying? Just being weird. I like the Barry Stiller. That's some continuity. You know what I'm saying? Barry here. I like the way Barry interacts with the players and all that. I like his savvy. But I do think the Browns need to get more football minds in the building. You know what I'm saying? Analytics is cool. You got analytics at the top. But you need football players and football minds in the building. Yeah, Niehaus might be the one. I mean, Udinski cool. He do look like Johnny Manziel a little bit, though. I thought that was crazy. Udinski cool. But I'll take Niehaus for sure. I definitely take him. Now, the question is who he bringing with him. Now, it'd be nice, though, if you get Niehaus and Udinski and Minter willing to come over all together. Now, my whole thing is, though, I think Minter run a 3-4, though. Oh, he might run a 4-3. I think the Chargers might run a 4-3 for sure.
But whoever the new defensive coordinator is, Miles just got 23 sacks. So you're going to have to come in and make sure Miles can still get 20 sacks. Don't bring in this old weird-ass defense. This little 4-2-5 lightweight is a nice identity for the Browns. I ain't going to lie. That 4-2-5, I kind of like that. You got 2 reliable linebackers. You basically running with 5 defensive backs, basically with your 5th person being somebody versatile. Now, that's a jail. Hey, listen. JOK, we miss you, dog. We hope everything is going well. You know what I'm saying? May the Almighty bless you. You know what I'm saying? I hope everything is going well. We as fans would love to have you back healthy and unscathed at full capacity or as close to full capacity as possible. Because putting JOK with Schlesinger and Devin Bush, what? What? Hey, I don't know if they're going to bring Jerome Baker back. He was on this team this year. He definitely was last year. I think this was this year, Jerome Baker. Because JLK was out, so we got Baker. And Baker, I think Jerome Baker makes a play. Did he get injured? You know what? But I like JLK because JLK is a move around guy. You could move JLK around like that. You know what I'm saying? And it's just all for my case of just finish off your defense. If you use one more pick to finish off the defense, so be it. Right? But I feel like if you draft Arvell Reese, though, just saying if I'm not saying they both won't be there, but just you get to a scenario where your offensive players that you want is taken off the board, you add number 6, and it's defensive studs on the board. You take one. Yes. If you don't want to re-sign, if you don't, because you gotta look at it like this. If you don't want to re-sign Devin Bush and you're unsure of JLK, then you gotta put somebody with Schlesinger. So if you're going to get Arvell Reese there, then you take him. Now, in your previous 2 drafts, you got Mason Graham, and then you got Schlesinger and Reese. That's a middle of the future. Grant Delpit ain't too much older than them. You still got Miles, you got Collins, you got, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's boom. Now you got 2 fast, young ass linebackers. You know, for a fact, this defense gonna be going crazy, right? You say, well, why would you do that? And you need offense. Why not trade back? Because when you picking in the top 10, you got to get a guy that's going to impact your team. If it just so happened to be a linebacker, then that's just what the Cards is. If it just happened to be a safety, then that's what it was. That's what the Cards was. It's a reason it felt like that. It's a reason you in this position. So take the surefire pick. I know this guy gonna come in and he gonna make an already great defense even greater. Why would I be mad at that? But in saying that, now I gotta be willing to move up the draft board for a player I want. Let's just say it fall like we think it gonna fall. And because when it comes to the receivers, right? I feel like Carnell Tate is the one who is more top 10 like, right? I don't think Tyson and Lemon are top 10. Now top 15, I ain't top 15, definitely. You know what I'm saying? If you get them at 8 and 9, I don't think that's 2. 8, 9 is cool, but if you ask me the top 7 players on the board, I don't think they fit in the mold as the top 7 players on the board. You know what I'm saying? Now, like I say, once you get to 8, you can make this a debate. But as far as the top 7 players available, talent, impact-wise, you know what I'm saying? Projection, I don't think Tyson and Makai Lemon fit there. Now, I think that they bring a unique skill set to whatever team they go to, and they need to go to a place where it allows them to flourish on their strength and not a place that's about to ask them to carry the load. That's unfair. You don't got to carry the load. We just need you to play your role. But I think Carnell Tate could come in and be your number one. Be a guy who get the attention and still thrive. Especially for the Browns, because you know what I'm saying? You got to look like we can build from that. You feel me? But you know, I like Denzel Boston. I like Amari Cooper Jr. Yeah, I think that's his name. From Indiana. On the receiver side. I like Conception. I think he's pretty cool. But Chris Paul probably might be something. I don't know. It's possible. But I feel like it's a lot of offensive to good talent in the second round. You know what I'm saying? When you pick in the top 6, you got to get a guy that you know can come in and be a game changer. You know what I'm saying? You got to tell me that if I give this receiver 100 targets, that I'm going to have a productive year. That's how I'm looking at this. When I'm looking at number 1 receivers, right? If I give this guy 100, 150 targets in a season over 17 games, can he be that guy? Can he at least be a threat? You know what I'm saying? And I feel like if you gave Carnell Tate 150 targets, he probably going to go bananas. I feel like if you give Tyson 150 targets, he probably gonna go crazy too. But
yeah, I believe in both of them. I believe in
17
Tyson and I believe in Tate.
But is Tyson gonna play 17 games? And that's kind of when you pick
Me
into that
personally,
top.
I'd rather go with O State. I'm rather go with these O State receivers. They proven themselves every time they get in the league. They've been out here in this cold and this knowing what's going on, man. And them boys be some dogs.
Yeah, I'm in favor of Tate. That I've been on his case for all year. I just feel like
but what if we can't get neither one?
He got to be able to.
We can't get neither one.
If I'm saying there's still players on the board.
Who else would you get?
Listen, the offensive tackle from Miami, Carnell Tate, right? Them two. Caleb Downs, Arvell Reese, I'll take them right there. If Bain Jr. failed, or I think it's Kane Jr. or Bain Jr., the defensive lineman from Miami, if he failed, I would take him. I would take Jeremiah Love at 6. I would take him. People, you crazy. So I got quite a few at 6. You know, if I take him at 6, I was taking him at 24. But those guys right there, that's what I'll take at 6. And you should be able to get one of those guys at 6. Because the guy that you get at 6 has to be a game changer. It don't matter the position. Now, if it's a defensive end, all you thinking to yourself is he playing opposite of Miles. That's it. You ain't thinking he replacing Miles. You thinking, I got Malik Collins. You know what I'm saying? Isaiah did really good last year. Alex Wright did really good last year. You know what I'm saying? I got Mike Hall, Mason Graham. You know, Malik gonna be gone though. Maybe one of those other guys could double in as a defensive lineman or a defensive tackle, which is most likely Miles. So that means somebody else got to play on the outside. Okay, that's what you would think. If it's a linebacker, you thinking, okay, JOK or Devin Bush ain't coming back, or neither one is coming back. Okay, so I'm just replacing something on the defense that I'm gonna miss next year if I don't fill this void. That's what you're thinking. If you get Caleb Downs, I'm thinking, okay, you re-signing Devin Bush. You got Caleb Downs. Now you got Grant Delpit to get a running mate like everybody else been getting running mates. You taking care of another your safety room. Now you know for a fact that you got Downs with Delpit. You got Hickman. You know what I'm saying? And then you got the McMillan guy like the Donovan McMillan. You still got him. Maybe he could, you know what I'm saying, turn up in this second year. You thinking you cool. And if you do that, then you can spend the rest of the whole draft on offense. You know what I'm saying? Because you know for a fact you just shored up a defense that you already knew was fire. So however the cards fall is how the cards fall. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you get to a situation which is unlikely and they all on the board, you get to the number 6 pick and Carnell Tate on the board, the offensive tackle on the board, Caleb Downs on the board, Arvell Reese on the board. This is highly unlikely, but just in case you get to that scenario, you got to prioritize, okay? You all want to be able to, because it's going to be offense. It's going to be offense going to win, right? And it's got to be, do I want to be able to put up points or protect the dude so he can put up points? You know what I'm saying? So if I'm put in that position, I'm going to select Carnell Tate because I've been talking about Carnell Tate all year. And I'm just going to run with whatever decision I made. Switching up on the fly after I'd already made these plans and ideas up with the guy that I've been, nah, bro, that ain't. But, if they took the offensive tackle instead, I wouldn't be mad. You know what I'm saying? Now, if they both on the board and they take Caleb Downs, now I'm looking at them kind of funny. Because even though I like Caleb Downs, the other two was on the board. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? The other two was on the board. If they take Arvell Reese over them, then I would just assume they took the best player on the board. Because I think he's the most athletic and can give you the most. Because he can cover, he can blitz, he can tackle, he can play sideline to sideline. And he got a little strength on him. So he's literally a game changer at the linebacker position. You know what I'm saying? Which is why I don't think he's going to last that long. I don't think Tate going to last that long, and I don't think the offensive lineman will last that long either. I don't. I think Cass is going off early because let's go to the draft right. Okay, so you got the Raiders and the Giants. I mean, the Raiders and the Jets picking 1 and 2, right? The Raiders probably gonna pick Mendoza. Let's see. This is the best available. Arvell Reese, the number 1 player on the board. This is off ESPN's NFL section. All right, I'll go to the NFL app in a second, but this is just off day, right? Arvell Reese, is the number one player on the board. 6'3", 243 pounds, linebacker. Fernando Mendoza, 6'5", 225 pounds, quarterback. Heisman and national champion winner is number 2. Jeremiah Love, 6 feet 214, running back, is number 3. These are the top 3 players on the board. Remember, I was just saying, guys I would take, right? The number 1 tackle on the board is Spencer Fano from Utah. 6'6", 302 pounds, offensive tackle. The 5th player is Ed David Bailey from Texas Tech. He's 6'3", 250 pounds. The 6th player is Caleb Downs. Caleb Downs is 6 feet, 205 pounds. Francis Mawagoa. Francis Mawagoa is the offensive tackle. I knew I couldn't say his name. I didn't want to mess it up without looking at it. Mawagoa. Yeah, he 6'6", 315. He number 7. His teammate, Ruben Bain Jr., 6'3", 275. He 8th on the board. Jordan Tyson, receiver. He 9th on the board. Now, you just said he was nice, and I just said I didn't think he was one of the top 7 players on the board. So, I ain't, you feel me? Somebody agree with me in some sense. Sonny Styles, linebacker, is number 10 on the board. Old State. Did I say his size? Jordan Tyson is 6'2", 200 pounds. I thought I said that. Sonny Styles is 6'4", 243 pounds. Then it's Carnell Tate at 11. He's 6'3", 195 pounds. Tight end, Kenyon Sadiq, 6'3", 245 pounds. He's 12th on the board. Off a defensive tackle, Peter Woods from Clemson, 6'3", 315 pounds. He's 13th on the board. Keldrick Falk, 6'6", 285-pound edge from Auburn. He's 14th on the board. Makai Lemon, 5'11", 195 pounds from USC. He's 15th on the board. Cornerback Jermiah McCoy, 6 feet, 193 pounds. He's 16th on the board. Caleb Lomu from Utah, offensive tackle. He's 17th on the board. Akeem Mesidor, 6'3", he an edge, 6'3", 280 pounds. He from Miami. Caden McDonald, 6'3", 326 pounds. He 19th on the board. Mansour Delane, 6 feet, 190 pounds. He 20th on the board. Ty Simpson coming out? I didn't know Ty Simpson coming out. I thought he was going back. Okay. So Ty Simpson, quarterback, is 21st on the board. Mendoza is at least 20 picks better than the next quarterback. Then you got Avion Terrell from Clemson. He a corner, 5'11", 180 pounds. Caden Proctor, offensive tackle, 6'7", 366 pounds. Yeah, he might be. Denzel Boston, receiver, 6'4", 209 pounds. And Cassius Howell, edge, 6'2", 248 pounds. That's the top 25 on this board. And I ain't even listen. It was quite a few tackles up there, though. It was about 4 or 5 tackles up there for the top 25. Was Arvell Reese? It was only like 2 linebackers, though. That's crazy. Them edges ain't really that's why they call them edges. They ain't really linebackers. They tackle for lost chasers. You know what I'm saying? They play behind a lot. There's a couple corners up here though. That tight end must be nasty. That he up here. He got to be nasty. I'd rather check his tape out. For sure. I ain't gonna lie, man. I might take Jeremiah Love though. Yeah, bro. Jeremiah fire. Him with Quinshawn to be crazy. I would take him at 6. But Matt Goa, he a right tackle though. So what's Fano? Oh, so Fano might be the one, huh? Fano was the name I was hearing. But I seen some tape of Matt Goa, Mawagoa, and I was like, oh, Mawagoa, dog. And I'm talking about nasty work, dog. He just, get out. Dog, get over there. Stop playing with me. You know what I'm saying? I liked it that. You know, that tape, when you see that film, man, it do something to you. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to go check out Utah, though. Check out them. I heard both of their tackles was nice. But I ain't really deep dive into it. Quite a few of these guys I've seen tape on a little bit of. But that's only because I ain't really been into my college football like I used to be. Hey, I'm talking about I used to be heavy in the game. What? Every Saturday. I'm talking about recruitment process. We all over. But in my last last couple few years, I really ain't been big. You know what it might have been? I think when they took Reggie Bush champions his Heisman. I think that was the at the point where I started distancing myself from college football. Like you can't really cure the love you got. You got it, you got it. But I did feel some type of way about them taking Bush Heisman. And I was just like, they just did that in like 2017, 2018, 2015. No, that was, I don't know. When did they take his Heisman? Okay, 2010. Yeah, 2010. 2010. That makes sense. I was still, yeah, because let me see. But it started off with Michael Thomas. I think the last time that I've actually watched Old State on a regular basis was Ezekiel Elliott. So what year did Ezekiel get drafted? 2016 sounds like the 2015. Okay, yeah, that make about sense. Okay, that's all right. Yeah, I was so hurt when they took Reggie Bush. He's gonna try to take his Heisman like that, and then came out with the NIL. That shit, I was happy. I'm pro NIL, but I was just so upset that they finally decided to do that after they criminalized all them young dudes, you know what I'm saying, beforehand. It made this whole spectacle of it. Like that was, but I like the NIL. Very much like the NIL. We need more organizations that help with financial literacy and protection. Guys protecting themselves. You know what I'm saying? Being in college with all that money, man, your water is your oyster. Like you have, I mean, you do if you had that life before, you do. In college, playing with that type bread, no, listen, it's different. But the Browns definitely got a nice task ahead of them. First, it starts with the head coach and what he wants to do. And, still some good candidates on the board. And the longer Cleveland sits on the board, and especially since Stefanski's been hired, you got to start looking at, was it Stefanski or was it the team? And I've been saying for a long time, hey, things ain't the way y'all think they are. Y'all should probably chill. I ain't saying I've been proven all the way right so far. I'm just saying the tea leaves is 10. So we gonna see what the final results gonna be. Because if that's the case, then what other situation do you have? You know what I'm saying? But I think Andrew Berry can do his thing. You know what I'm saying? And that's really ultimately what this comes down to, right? Do you believe Andrew Berry can get the job done? Do you believe that he has enough experience up to said point to turn the offense into what he turned the defense into as far as gathering personnel? Period. If you ask me that question directly, I would say yes. I don't even think I would hesitate, to be honest. Maybe slightly, but yes. I believe he can do it, given the opportunity and the chance to. And if he got to do it with his own new staff and not his homeboy, I mean, that happens. You know what I'm saying? Like, that happens. That's still your homie. You feel me? Like, this is just work. Things happen at work, bro. That don't got nothing to do with the rest of the life. So, I don't know. Maybe you get all these guys, man. I don't know who else Niehaus is connected to though, man. But the Browns got Shador and Watson, bruh. And people acting like the quarterback room is just so ass. That's making me so mad. It just got me so upset. Like, bruh, never in the history would you tell me that we got Shador Sanders and Deshaun Watson in our quarterback room, and we complaining. Complaining for what? What's good, homie? Roscoe, what is good? Man, listen. What we complaining for? Shador and Watson? Like, Watson 30. Shador like 24, 20. Okay, so what? Guess what? Y'all could sit in this quarterback room with Dylan Gabriel, and y'all could become a cohesive unit. We teammates now. All that other shit people talking about don't matter. Each one of y'all brings something unique to the quarterback room that can help who's ever starting. And that's what y'all have to operate as. That's how a position room should operate. We in here trying to figure out the best way to run the position. Because once we figure out how to run the position, the competition is who running it. Because I can't make your decisions for you. I can't use your athleticism for you. I can't try to figure out ways to cover up your flaws for you. I got to do that for me. But knowledge, just getting the answer down, that's y'all supposed to be a cohesive unit. Y'all play for the same team. Y'all wearing the same jacket. Like, you feel me? If you win the Super Bowl, we all get rings. What are we talking about? It's a team sport. But that room fire. That room fire. And then you got at least 2 or 3 weapons on that offense. You got at least 1 or 2 linemen. The cover not bare. Listen, I'm a literal person. So when you tell me the cover is bare and you don't got nothing, I literally believe you have nothing. But I don't call Watson, Shador, Quinshawn, Fannin, Judy, Jones, Weipler. I don't call that nothing. I call that parts of an offense at every level. You know what I'm saying? But like I say, Fannin though, I like being able to move him around. So I think you still need a tight end. You need a traditional tight end. Basically. Good run blocker who can run routes, got good hands. You may not be the most athletic, you may not be the fastest, but you know, he gets the job done. And that way you can use Fannin more because now you got a legitimate extra blocker on the field. You know what I'm saying? Or you can use Fannin, but Fannin more effective when you can move him out at fullback in play action situations. You know what I'm saying? When you can motion him from the line to the slot. That to me is where Fannin is going to be most effective. Yeah, you can still line him up on the outside, which is what I wanted to do with David Njoku. Keeping David Njoku would be fire. Keeping Njoku, you know what I'm saying, with Fannin will be fire, especially for an offensive minded coach because he's going to use both the tight ends, which is going to open up the running back game. And then, listen, when it comes to the wide receiver room, right, some people like having a lot of receivers. Let me tell you something that I think about the wide receiver room, okay? It's only so many passes that's going to get thrown in the season, okay? Whether it's, 200, whether it's 600. It's only so many passes. It's not unlimited. There's a cutoff point, right? So if I'm going to get a number, so when it comes to I don't need a lot of receivers, right? I just need 2 good ones, 2 great ones. Like me personally, when I look at the receiver, I just need 2. You know why? Because everything else is optional. All right? Tight ends. I like 2. I like having 2 tight ends. Right? Because I like to have a tight end that I can motion from the backfield to the line or out wide. I do that. I like that because that's a different way to take advantage of the defense. Defense is thinking, oh, that's a fullback. They're not thinking, oh, that's a weapon. And when they start thinking, oh, that's a weapon, now guess what? Already got 2 good receivers. So anytime my slot playing receiver is gaining interest or my tight end is gaining interest, that means you got to leave my receivers one-on-one. And from what I know about football, if my top two receivers is one-on-one, they open. Okay? Anytime they one-on-one, they open. Now, if it's them and the safety over top, depending on the skill set, you take that chance. But one-on-one with my top two receivers, my starting receivers, that is a no-no. Nobody can check you one-on-one. That's why. This is why Jamar Chase and T. Higgins be dog and shit. Back in the day, this is how it was. You had to have two receivers. Two guys that you know one-on-one, yeah, you ain't getting that off. If they one-on-one, you getting beat. Now, depending on the corner, coverage, but even still, you getting beat. So they only need two. You know what I'm saying? Back on the Judy side, Judy ain't one of them two. So you gotta find Judy different ways to get the ball because he not him. Not in that way. You not him in that way. You know what I'm saying? So open that space up for a guy. But you can be him with your speed and athleticism, though. You catch a wide receiver screen. You know what I'm saying? You catch a quick slant. You feel me? You catch a go route, post, flag. You feel me? End around, return the kick. You might score a lot of touchdowns doing that. Because I can get you the ball in different ways, and I still got boom. And when you on the field, you really a threat. Because guess what? If I get you the ball in open space, now you. And people think I be trying to diss Jerry Jeudy. I'm just saying, you gotta utilize a guy for the way that he's effective, not for the way that you think he should be operating. A person can only be who they are. You can't make them be something else you want them to be. And just you gotta, you know what I'm saying? So and you gotta, be willing to live with that. Because guess what? That's just one piece of the machine. You know what I'm saying? You just never know. You feel me? So I don't know, man. I think as a Browns fan, I'm nervous, terrified, and excited. Right? I'm nervous because I don't know what's going to happen. Nobody knows what's going to happen unless you're the person in those rooms. You don't really know until somebody tells you, right? I'm terrified because we have Browns have a history of not making great decisions. So I'm, terrified that they might make make a not so good decision that they can't come back from, and I don't want that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want that at all. But I'm also excited because I feel like with the personnel we got in place locked in, Andrew Berry, the position we got in the draft, what we could do with the personnel we got on the team, I feel like this could be a breakout season with the right acquisitions. It literally comes down to acquisitions, right? It's not about nothing else for the Browns right now. They have to get the right acquisition. You know what I mean? And when it's all said and done, you need to have a number one left tackle, a number one wide receiver. You're going to need a free safety. You're going to need to bring back Devin Bush and replace him. You're going to need to know what's going on with JOK. You're going to need at least one offensive guard, right? You're going to need at least one more running back. You're going to need at least one more tight end, right? Right? And that's 8 players. Right there alone, that's 8 players. Right? So, well, I guess that's 6 players. I think a couple of them is 6 players. Right? But you need an offense. Okay. Ideally on offense, you're gonna get the tackle, the wide receiver, a running back, a guard, a tight end, and maybe another receiver. Two receivers is definitely ideal. Two receivers. Could they get one of these veteran receivers on the trade side though? Like, could you trade for Olave? Could is Michael Thomas still playing? Can he still play? Do you get some of that action going? Jay Jettis, hey, Minnesota can't keep Jay Jettis. What's up with going to get Jay Jettis? I'm just saying, why not? You know what I'm saying? You so want to go get AJ Brown? Go get Jay Jettis. What you gonna give up for Jay Jettis? We can start with next year's first. They gonna want something this year. Well, I ain't gonna lie. We can for Jay Jettis, we can start with the 24. For Jay Jettis, we can start with the number 24. Right? But that's the only pick you can get from this year. That number 24 is the only pick you can get from this year. Now, Jay Jett is definitely worth another number one. But we can't trade number ones. Can you trade number ones back years? Or you got to do it every other year? I think I do it every other year. So, if I trade them the one this year, that means they got to get the one in 28. See, I don't know if I want to do that. So we might got to do it for that straight up. If I got to throw in a player, of course I'm going to throw in Jerry Jeudy. But this is the first player going up. It's Jerry Jeudy. Give you a receiver. Yeah. Jerry Jeudy in the first. Jerry Jeudy wasn't number one. He's top 10 pick. So Jerry Jeudy in the first. For Jay Jettis. You're going to need more than that. Man, I got a future second. I'll throw a future second in there. That's 2 ones and a 2. You were just talking shit today. Hey, but Jerry Jeudy's the number one. He was a top 10 pick. So he was a first round pick for sure. So we talking business right now. Jay Jettis for 1 next year, Jerry Jeudy, and a 2. Damn, I'm gonna have to give him something this year. That's just too unrealistic not to give him something this year. If I keep my first this year, I'll give him the 2. And this is why it's hard to give him 20 because, and I ain't saying that Jay Jett is not worth it. What I'm saying is, my point is to try to combine my 2 first round picks this year with Jay Jettis. You feel what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to get 2 top picks this year and put them with Jay Jettis. So I'm saying if I can come out the pick and I can get, hey, the Browns might take the tight end nigga though. No, listen. Let me go back to this, man. I don't know why why I was just thinking that just in my subconscious. Hey, I've been hearing about this tight end for months though. No, because then he should bring back. Listen, I really wanted to bring back David Njoku, but I can't be mad if David Njoku want to leave. I think it all depends on who get hired. But damn, Njoku, I don't really want Njoku to leave, bruh. I ain't gonna hold you. I ain't trying to see David wear another jersey. Oh shit! I gotta remember something.
I really ain't trying to see David wear another jersey, man. That's gonna blow me. You feel me? My nigga David been here as long as Miles, man. They got drafted together. You know what I'm saying? I'm surprised. I'm sorry Jabril ain't here because if Jabril was here, we wouldn't be having these safety problems. We traded Jabril for Odell. People be wondering why I feel some type of way about the trade. Okay? But I feel you. You know, Jabril, his life is doing something different right now. Or, I don't know, man. If Jabril Peppers got to play with JOK and all that, like, bruh, I don't know, man. We might be having a different conversation. I like Jabril. I like Jabril a lot. What he thought. I like versatile players, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like on any team, in any sport, you gotta have players who can play multiple positions, bro. Like, that's just, you gotta have players who can do that. You know what I'm saying? And in football and basketball, in a lot of respects, this is looked at in a negative way. And I don't understand how people just be on that type of time. You got it. But I'm just getting my ramble on right now because I really just wanted to get up here and just express myself about these sports, man. I really ain't been able to like just have these little random thoughts and just really go through it all. You know what I'm saying? I've just been working. I think it's been bothering me. So, I'm just up here expressing this with y'all like, hey, listen, I think the Browns are an attractive job. I've seen this conversation too. If the Browns are an attractive job, hell yeah, it's an attractive job. What are you talking about? You got a top 4 defense, got a couple pieces on offense, and you're gonna be able to do what you do. Bet I think quite a few organizations will lick their chops to have Deshaun Watson on their roster right now. At 30 years old, a couple seasons removed from playing football, just getting healthy and working out. What are you talking about? I think there's quite a few would love to have Shador as they in the quarterback room right now, saying that I could just mold him. You know what I'm saying? I don't even got to play him right now. I can just mold him, groom him up while I get my offense together. What are we talking about? Yeah, you a new coach. You probably gonna you should get like 4 years. And you're gonna come into this season with 10 draft picks. You're gonna have a little bit of cap money. Man, listen. They better stop playing, man. I do. So I think Jeremy Thrash should be playing. I hope they bring him back. I like the Jeremy Thrash. I like Isaiah Bond. Oh, Isaiah Bond might be our Percy Harvin though. Could he be our Eric Metcalf though? Listen, we need a guy who do that. A guy who plays a role on offense and returns the kicks and punts. Okay? That you gotta have a guy like that. Because you know that he electric. You know whenever this guy gets the ball in his hands, he can be able to take it to the crib. You need that. Then your receiver game, you should have an unguardable receiver, right? Your number 1 receiver is unguardable. In order for us to stop him, the defense has to be focused on stopping him. That means on any given play, it's 4 different people virtually checking him. It's a guy that's on him,
And then as he moves through, wherever he go, it's a guy in the area. All right? That's the type of attention the number one receiver should be getting. If your receiver ain't getting that type of attention, he ain't no number one. You feel me? Your number two receiver, you know what I'm saying? But you need a guy that's possession, right? Good route runner, make tough catches, catching traffic. You need a guy who can take the top off, a speedster, a guy who, if he get behind you, is crucial. You need a guy who could catch elite balls. You know what I'm saying? You need a guy who can catch over in the middle. You need just a straight tactician. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need a guy who get good rack yards. Like, you need all these type of different receivers on every offense. It doesn't matter what type of offense you run. You need these type of receivers on every offense. And sometimes it's just about a matter of putting the guy in the right position. Playing the guy to his strengths versus trying to make him play what you want him to play or what the position title dictates. Nah, man, this guy's a football player. We play football to win. It don't matter what role you got to play. Can you play it? Well, we ask you to play this role. Can you play it? If you can't play it, then I ain't the role for you. That means we got to critique this role in a way that it makes you effective. If that means we got to change the name of the position and the title or how this works, then that's what we do. That's what football for. All right? You get a base product, you got base guidelines, and once you understand the rules, then you can manipulate and do little things because you understand why you manipulated the rules. Not just doing it just because you think it's like, people, hold on. All right, my fault. So, I don't know. Harbaugh went to the Giants, though, right? I ain't really talked about nobody else's sides. Harbaugh went to the Giants. That's cool. He got Jackson Dart and Malik Neighbors and Cam Scatterboo. He got some pieces on that defense. Hey, nice situation for you, Harbaugh. The Packers defensive coach Hafferty, he got the ball. He got the Dolphins job. Pieces. You got. Hey. Man, you got to decide on your quarterback. Do you? Okay, that might be the sign. You know what I'm saying? You know what? I understand. I was thinking it a little bit anyway. You know what I'm saying? I've been able to ramble and go on for a couple hours. It's cool. DeeTrynt, Game Changing Sports Talk, Industry Sports, streaming on multiple social and media platforms. Catch us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. You know what I'm saying? Follow us on IG at Industry Sports and at DeeTrynt. If you miss the live streams, you can catch the replays on Spotify and various other streaming podcasts. Just look for the Industry Sports channel, like, subscribe, share, follow. Once you get in there, you'll see Game Changing Sports Talk with yours truly, DeeTrynt. Man, it's been a pleasure being able to wrap up with y'all today. I have some little time today and here just express some thoughts. As we go on in the off season, we get down to the ruler and the tutor and the details and, you know what I'm saying, really trim the fat off of things. But for right now, you know what I'm saying, let's just enjoy the mayhem. See how it plays out. All right, y'all be easy, man. One.